And so it does go on. We are looking out at Rodney Parade. Looks a perfect night for rugby. Stuart is down there on the touchline. Evening, Stu.
Hiya, Red. I was actually going to use my little slot tonight to get as many firework phrases in as I could, but I'll leave that to Gareth up in the commentary box. But there is one casualty on fireworks night. Scott Gibbs was supposed to be with me alongside, but unfortunately nothing to wear because all his clothes have been stolen to go on the guys that are being burned in Pencoy this evening. Only joking, Gibbsy. Anyway, it is a lovely night, Ed. My memories of fireworks night are about cold, wet, windy nights. It's actually perfect tonight. It's still, it's dry. A great night for setting off a few Jackie jumpers and a lovely night for a game of rugby.
Very good, Stu. Stick to the team news, mate. Mike?
Yeah, well, as I was saying earlier, two strong sides. If I look here, Kevin Morgan, you know, they've been sort of the fulcrum of the Dragons side this season. Strong again, the centre, Tupoloto. We've seen him being a very important player. And Warlow comes in for a sort of a rare game. But Baber, underrated at 9, man of the match last week's game in Europe.
Still a lot of famous names in this Dragons pack. Richard Bryant, a key player at 8. Jason Forster, what a player he is in the back row too. Experience in the second row. And Rod Snow, well, he's not on Canadian duty, even though Italy against Canada tomorrow, one of the opening test matches of the autumn.
Yeah, for the Ospreys, I think, you know, it's still a very quick, exciting backline again, and we can see Stefan Terblanche back there after injury. Durston, a familiar face, as is Musto. Bishop and Seville, good centre pairing. Bishop's been in good form this season, and then the youngster Jones in at 10 for a rare out, and Andy Williams keeping Jason Spice on the bench.
7 players out of either side on international duty. James Bater, promising member of that back row. Andy Newman, formerly of Northampton, and Barry Williams, the old head, will have to lead from the front tonight. 14 players, Mike, on international duty players, 7 from each side.
Absolutely, but I think as we saw then, still 2 very strong sides. You know, that's the beauty then, of only having 4 sides, that the squads are much stronger, and it's a great opportunity for a lot of the players there tonight to make a name for themselves and get into that first team lineup.
Okay, the closing seconds in the changing rooms here at Rodney Parade. It's the Dragons against the Ospreys. By pressing your interactive button, you can go to the tactic zone, you can go to the fan zone, you can have Welsh language commentary, you can probably have it in beginner's French from Fifi Labouche. Anyway, we're sticking with Jonathan Davis and Gareth Charles.
Bonsoir, Edward. And welcome to Rodney Parade. And as Stuart is saying, Jonathan, the conditions are great. And these boys can go out and enjoy themselves. No, not so much pressure on them maybe as they would be on the first team boys.
Well, I think there is, because it's all, you know, the regionalisation of rugby now. It's all about, you know, fighting for your place, and if they play well tonight, hopefully they can keep their places. So, you know, I think it's a very, very important game tonight. You know, it just shows the strength and depth of these regions.
Barry Williams, who could have been playing for Wales tomorrow, but decided no, enough is enough on the international scene. So he will lead his team throughout the season. Steve Tandy, he's had a great battle for that number 7 jersey with Richie Pugh this season, and his winning the ball at the breakdown could be vital tonight. And the one South African in town who'll be playing tonight is Stefan Terblanche, 37 caps for the Springboks, back after injury.
Yeah, I think, you know, with the disruptions, maybe the 2 props for the Ospreys will, you know, will be the biggest blow for them. That's where I think the game will be contested and won tonight, but you know, they have got good strength and depth, both of these squads. They've bought well, and should be quite an interesting game.
A man who always gives 100% for whatever team he's playing for. The Newport Gwent Dragons skipper Jason Forster leading out his team. Saw him clobbered a couple of weeks ago down here, but he's back up and fighting. And the one man who's kept the Dragons going forward all season, very impressive with his direct play in the centre, Sione Tuipulotu.
Yeah, he's played really well, Tuipulotu, and also this man, you know, I think he's always been exceptionally quick, Jamie. He's always been a good footballer, but sometimes too enthusiastic and you know, shooting his ball a bit too quickly. You know, getting 2 outs at ours before they had the ball and going in overreading situations. But I think he's really matured as a player now. He's playing extremely well. He's a great footballer, and you know, for a number 6, he is so quick about the park, and you know, he just does really well for the Dragons. One player I think that they will miss is Michael Owen. You know, he does all the good things. He does the dirty work, but he does it so well. So the back row, you know, have got to perform tonight.
Ian Ramage of Scotland, the man in charge this evening. And the top of the table team, the Ospreys, 7 out of 7. Will kick off against the team in second, the Dragons, 5 out of 6.
One of the chances of this little lad, Matthew Jones, having Forster all over him tonight.
Well, Matthew Jones started the season at 10, but then Gavin Henson moved there after Jones was injured. So here's a chance for the youngster to prove himself again, but he'll be closely guarded by this Dragons back row. Nice take by Lyndon Bateman at the first line out. And Barry Williams straight in there, orchestrating for the Ospreys. Steve Tandy in close attendance. It's Tandy who comes away with it. Barry Williams wants runners. As they come in from the side, the first penalty of the evening comes just shy of 50 seconds.
Well, that didn't take long, the first penalty.
It didn't take long for Barry Williams to decide either that he wants Matthew Jones to go for goal.
Yeah, and this will be a pressure kick for young Matthew Jones. It's a kick that you know, everyone expects him to kick it, but he hasn't been in a situation because of a certain Gavin Henson.
Gavin Henson, the leading point scorer in the Celtic League so far this season. He on international duty at centre tomorrow afternoon. Matthew Jones back wearing 10 for the Ospreys this evening. That's pretty well struck, and that's straight through, so no problem at all for Matthew Jones. The first points of the evening come before 2 minutes.
Yeah, and that'll give him a lot of confidence. Nice easy kick for him, but it's nice to knock it over as the ball goes in. Here we are, coming in from the side. That's what the penalty was for, Richard Bryan.
Both outside halves in a similar position this evening. It's the first appearance of the season for the Dragons for Craig Warlow. So there'll have to be a little bit of adjustment and a little bit of getting used to as far as both backlines go. Well, Nathan Bonner-Evans in the walls immediately. Cut above the eye, stitched up, taped up, ready to come back on.
Wait, please. I'm trying to help you here. Take them away with you, yeah? He's in.
There's plenty of depth about the Dragons' three-quarter line. So they're expecting the line-out ball, but Bateman got in there ahead of them. So it's the flat-lying Osprey defence who turn into attack, and a lucky break for David Bishop. Support from Jones, just a stab through, but repaid with interest. Durston again for the corner. Gareth Wyatt is the one who's back there waiting. Good tackle by Richard Mustoe. Forster is there to carry on. Richard Bryan, there are plenty of men outside. Bryan straight down the middle, now needs to link up. There's a massive overlap to his left. He's come the other way. Even though Jamie Ringer was there, the chance may have gone. That was a golden opportunity. It still could be on, but a bit of vision, a bit of awareness, and that would surely have been 5 points. Wyatt looking for the little chip through. Referee was playing advantage anyway. As it is, the Dragons may have to settle for 3. They should be looking at 5 or 7.
Well, here's a break. I look at Jamie Ringer, he's in front of him, obstructs the tackle, and once he's through, he's got to look at the left-hand side. Just goes, he's got to veer out now towards the left-hand side. Tuipulotu's there. Unfortunately, he takes the ball to ground.
You just went to the tackle. It's all.
A great initial work by Richard Bryan, but there were a couple of men outside him.
Go 10, please. Go 10.
Craig Wallow, who reached 3 figures in the Celtic League last season, around 100. Pretty simple, 3 points for Wallow, and it's all square at 3-all.
As the ball comes out, you just got to keep your eye, there we are, stop it there, on this guy here. He's going to run straight past in between, a bit of obstruction, run it on. There you are, look, it's in between, obstruction, and then they spoil it from there.
Bit of an American football block, perhaps, by Jamie Ringer.
Yeah,
But they didn't use the wide receivers, did they?
no, he should have given it. There's good support there. There's good defensive play as well. They scrambled well and got in between.
We talked before the game. Wait. Crouch and hold. Engage. Stay bound.
Connor Evans trying to steady the scrum, but the Dragons got the pressure on, well played in the end. Bater was the link. Good ball to Ted Blanche. Into the 22 and keeps it alive to Tandy. Lost the ball in contact though. That was well salvaged from the bit of pressure coming on the scrum from the Ospreys.
Great break. Fantastic break there. Came in, but what a tackle by Ringer. He's in, he's got the try line. Look at that. Well timed, the old ankle tap. A superb break by the Ospreys. Good cover by Ringer.
It's Richard Bryan's turn this time to try and take pressure off the scrum, but as clearly demonstrated by Ian Ramage, the Ospreys back row breaking too quickly.
Number 8, Bindon. It's just hands on, skipper.
Craig Wallow nurses his team down towards the 10-metre line. Not clean line out, indeed. They have to go back at a pace for Ian Goff to just clean it up for them that time. And the Dragons line out hasn't really got going so far in the opening stages. Again, decent-sized crowd at Rodney Parade.
You count. You count. No, you count.
There's a fair old battle going on, but Lyndon Bateman is showing up well in the early stages of the line. That's Andy Millward. Barry Williams as scrum half. Nice ball inside from Newman. Again, Ted Blanche very aware, coming in off his wing, looking for work. Dummy run from Bishop. Musto did well, still doing well. I went a bit too quick for Ted Blanche. Matthew Jones to Sebe Ali.
Good tackle. Ian Goff, good hit.
Well recycled though by the Ospreys, and Barry Williams in there again. On his feet, making sure he could get hands on it. Millward. Waiting for him was James Richards. The Ospreys trying to put the phases together, but that one locked in that time.
Very good play by the Ospreys, good continuity, good running off the ball, good inside ball as well. They got behind the Dragons. There we are, but this is the hit. Oh, and good shoulder.
Oh, yeah, all right.
drives him back, but they just recycle it once again.
Time off.
The one thing they do, they're just going slightly across field, the Ospreys. That's all. If they straighten up a little bit, they are creating opportunities.
Yeah.
This was the break, you know, scrum going back, lovely ball, and really just takes the tackle. That's all. Nothing. Didn't really create anything there, you know. He just made, you know, bad ball into good ball. A good support play by Turblanche coming off his wing, but a superb Jamie Ringer tackle.
Wait, gents. Crouch and hold. Engage.
Slight edge in terms of weight for the Dragons. And again, Connor Evans trying to scramble through from that ball. But at that time he was aided by Andy Williams, the scrum half.
There's number 9, Andy Williams, standing in his way. Obstruction. And you do know with Mr. Ramage, any little thing he's going to blow, isn't he? So you've got to play the referee as well as playing the opposition. Certainly imposed themselves on the game, the Ospreys, haven't they? I don't think the Dragons have been in the Ospreys half yet.
That's better ball from the line out for the Dragons to use. Warlow beats his first man easily. Richards with help from Foster. Snow trying to take it up as well. Weber to Pelotu. Ryan outside him. Now then, that's better, creating some space outside. Oh, good clash between the two sixes off the ball, Ringer and Bater. Chance for the Dragons to counter. Tuipulotu forward from Brew to Tuipulotu.
Yeah, it was forward, but play on.
Short ball to James Richards from Kevin Morgan. It was a good angle. Ringer, Warlow. Chris Anthony had man and ball.
It's a blitz defence. Blitz defence from second and third phase. That's what they do. Shoot up, block the ball to be spread wide. Got it very well organised. And there's, well, two coaches, McIntosh and Anderson.
No, he's got to release. He's got to leave it. Allow him to play.
Well, that's it. Look, 70% territory. As I thought, you know, they've really dominated, but they haven't turned pressure into points. And possession, yeah, all well and good being equal, but it's all been in the Dragons' half. 3-1 into the opposition 22.
The Dragons wanting to make use of every opportunity they have, because they haven't had that many down in their opponent's half so far. Warlow does the necessary, and against the run of play, it must be said, the Dragons edge ahead by 6 points to 3.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Possession, territory. Well, possession is equal, but territorial advantage has been huge for the Ospreys, but they're going to turn that pressure into points.
The Ospreys spread out along halfway. On a mix-up, could present them with the ball. Nathan Brew trying to reclaim it, not managing to do so.
Both kickoffs now haven't been taken by the Dragons. And that is where someone's got to just make a call and go for it. That ball should have been Nathan Brew's. He was one coming for it. He should have called and then caught it. You know, maybe he did call, but confusion. And that's where they do miss Michael Owen, isn't it? You know, he does clean those things up.
Stay back.
Connor Evans, nice take by Andy Williams. different.
Forward.
But forward as well.
Forward.
Bit of ingenuity, didn't quite work out.
When the scrum comes up, look at Kevin Morgan. He's up. A chip is needed, and the winger is in. You know, that's what they've got to be aware. I think if the ball is an 8-9, go blind. Kevin Morgan is dragged into the line, and there's no full back behind.
Sorry, son.
Big Wallow standing straight behind, and it's safely out of play. So 15 minutes played. Chance for us to hear the first thoughts of the evening from Stuart Davis.
Yeah, thanks very much, Gareth. I've tucked myself in the Dragons dugout here, and it's purely coincidence that they're all leaving as I start speaking, I can assure you. But very encouraged by the early pace in this game, and I think it's demonstrated by the number of offloads that the Ospreys have looked for in contact. They're trying to keep the ball alive, and at the moment it's working off for them.
I got a question for you, Stu.
Say it again, John.
I got a question.
Go on.
Who cut your hair?
The same person that dyed yours, mate.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Bonner Evans on halfway. Ted Blanche drilling it through and getting a fairly whopping bounce, which Ben Rees dealt with. But again, the Ospreys, when they need to, just happy to keep the Dragons down there, which is a sensible thing to do. Full line out again for the Ospreys. Matthew Jones, Bishop, but there's a lot waiting for him. Tuipulotu, first man in.
Don't come in the side.
Nathan Bonner Evans getting them going forward again. Barry Williams doing exactly the same.
It's all right.
Through comes James Richards. He was quite legal in what he was doing. Picked up by Andy Williams, and now it's come very slow ball. In fact, it's not coming out. That's good defence for the Dragons.
Yeah, they'd be disappointed with that. The ball was there to be won, and they were very slow. Now they lost possession.
07786 2012 12 for your text messages for Rick and his mates, and the Scrum 5 website address as usual.
Stay back.
5:30 BBC Two Wales for Scrum 5. All the highlights of the weekend, particularly of course Wales South Africa tomorrow afternoon.
Here's Brian, isolated, goes down. He can't really move there, but didn't release the ball. Penalty, and the chance for Matthew Jones.
And he just got tripped as he was getting away from the base of the scrum and couldn't really get any momentum into it, Richard Bryan. Matthew Jones, again it's well struck, very well struck, lovely kick, very nice kick indeed from Matthew Jones. Looks more than competent, and he brings them level at 6 points all. So no tries as we approach the end of the opening quarter, but a fairly lively start from both teams. Now, did he manage to keep control of that? The crowd on the far side think that perhaps he didn't. And again, they are the home crowd.
Yes.
Kevin Morgan. Up she goes. Ted Blanche, who's back there. Calls for the clean catch. That awarded.
While he's away here, there's an opportunity.
Ringer with a tackle. Quick ball going left is what they're looking for, but
That's a tackle. And release, yeah.
Opportunity there missed. think there was if he'd got away, there would have been a great chance. It's one of those things that the back row just snuffed it out. That is offside. Ball come off the shoulder and went offside. And this will be a... Here's the opener now, Ben Breeze. Ball comes off the shoulder, man in front, offside, penalty. Whereas Kerry Sweeney might have gone for that kick. Warlow has gone for touch. Unfortunately, gone too far. What a missed opportunity.
Well, that is the kind of error you don't want especially when you're not having as much possession as you'd like.
That is a basic error, you know. You just got to make sure you've got 5 metres. And again,
Connor Evans keeping up the tempo and taking the game to the Dragons. Williams, Millward. They're soaking up these defenders. Thurston covered by Baber. 3 Ospreys all over him. And that's just a pressure game, and it'll be Ospreys throw as well.
yeah, there's not much creativity out there at the moment. There's a lot of phase play, good ball, but they're taking the easy option with the little kicks, you know. There are situations where some of the front row are isolated in midfield, and you've got to, you know, you've got to have a go at them. It's another basic error, you know, too many numbers in the line out.
You had too many, you had 5 in. What just come off? There was a man lighting at the front.
Again, Barry Williams wanting to keep the pace up for the Ospreys.
And run!
Jamie Ringer is getting through the tackling this evening, certainly. Matthew Jones, Seveali. Thurston spins away from Ben Breeze's tackle and gives Pierre Blanche just a chink of light on the far touchline. Bishop, Barry Williams back on the angle.
Now they've got numbers on the left.
Ross Snow with a steal, but illegally.
Ruck was called. Ruck was called. Having fans off. We talked about it before the game.
That's where things break down. Ian Ramage had called ruck, but Jason Forster adamant it was a tackle situation and that Rod Snow was the first man in. Ultimately though, you've got to listen to the ref's call.
Well, there's 9 penalties been awarded so far in the game. There's only 22 minutes gone.
No, they're not. They had 4 all the time there.
Matthew Jones holds the record as being the youngest player ever to appear in the Celtic League. That was a couple of years ago for Neath. There's Edinburgh. Now in an Ospreys shirt, puts over his 3rd penalty of the evening, very competently indeed, and puts the Ospreys ahead.
He's striking the ball so sweetly, you know, just head down, lovely style. As soon as he hit that, just turned, knew it was over.
From the restart, there was good work by Rod Snow. Warlow got it away quickly in the rash defence that time. Tuipulotu did well, he hung on to it, lovely presentation as well. Meant for Jason Forster. They couldn't work it out quite between them.
Yeah, very unlucky. Lovely dummy by Tuipulotu.
No, he wasn't in the air, he was feet on the ground, so that was a fair game. Just wait, gentlemen, please.
Desperately disappointed not to add to his 1 cap in Argentina in the summer.
Top tackler. They're certainly under pressure at the scrum. The Ospreys, they are missing the Jones boys in the front row. Been very strong this year. The Ospreys scrum. The Dragons certainly having a go at them.
Bring up, gentlemen, please. You're doing exactly what I asked you not to do before the game. Don't anticipate. Crouch and hold. Engage. Use it! Doubt.
Again, there's pressure on that Osprey scrum.
No.
Can't get the ball away quickly enough.
Back foot.
And in the end, it was Barry Williams who had to act as scrum half. His pass was good enough to afford Matthew Jones the time to take the Ospreys back down to halfway.
Yeah, Nathan Bonner-Evans must be thinking, first game, he's on the back foot, cleaning at bad ball, after watching Ryan Jones, get over the gain line as often as he has this season, which has, got him into the Welsh squad for tomorrow, the Welsh team. Let's hope he has a big game tomorrow.
Ryan with the line-out ball. Wallow again. Tuipulotu meaning to run straight. This is a chance for Mustoe on the break. Good tackle by Wallow, and it needed to be Bishop.
And if they have quick ball now, there's so much men over on the left-hand side.
They've gone to the blind side though.
Blind side.
Again, Bonner-Evans, first man to set it up. Andrew Millward has done his share of that as well. Jones on halfway. It's Durston who's doing the chasing. Wyatt and Kevin Morgan who are doing the defending. Now they know they won't be a full-back back there, but there will be a covering right winger in the shape of Stefan Tedblanche. Almost run into Andrew Millward.
Well, tried to run round him, which is a very difficult job actually.
Gas halfway round. Sebe Ali, Matthew Jones.
Sliced that kick.
In the end, a very limp ending to what could have been a promising attack several phases ago.
It's Tedblanche, trying to get on the outside. There he is, get out the way, Andrew.
He broke his foot in training earlier in the season, Stefan Tedblanche. Playing in the first 2 games of the season, now he's back, and he looks sharp too. James Richards joined from Leicester. He gets his first start of the season for the Dragons as well this evening, and that's true of several players with the 14 call-ups between the 2 squads for the Welsh 22 tomorrow.
Needs something to spark the game, doesn't it? Someone to have a go, take someone on, spot the mismatch in midfield, get yourself up against the front row forward.
Tandy, up, down and around. He could be hurt on that one actually, because he came down head first. That could be dangerous.
Well, I don't know what happened there. I think they both went up in the air. I don't think anyone took each other's legs away. He just flung him in the air, didn't he?
Yeah, no, that's what I saw. That's what I saw.
Well, I hope he's okay, because it's hard to see what happened there from that angle.
Yeah, I think he's old man.
I think they must have thrown him in the air and then missed him.
Nothing malicious or dangerous, just the way it came down.
But Tandy certainly went across to try and get it, and then all of a sudden went flying.
Well, it's great. There he was. He's at the back of the line out. They threw him in the air and just leave him go.
Yeah, you okay?
I think that may be down more to the Ospreys supporters, supporting players that is, not the supporters, than the Dragons players who are up against him.
I think it was yeah, definitely some player who lobbed him in the air then.
Engage! Use it! It's out! And release! Release! Don't leave it,
Teams are struggling to get good, clean ball from the scrum. And that takes away one facet of attacking play. And more, they've got to rely on the kicking of the outside halves for position.
It's There's a lot of grabbing going on, at the ruck situation. They've just got to clear out, fly in and hit bodies at the way. But the ball is there for both scrum halves just to pick and get away.
Cut for Richard Bryan, I think.
I think Lynn will be happy, with the score. Might have thought that they should have capitalised on the possession and the territorial advantage of the first 20 minutes.
Phone number, website address for all your thoughts, and of course your thoughts of the experts on Scrum 5 Sunday 5:30. And now Chris Anderson is making of all this. Ian McIntosh as ever.
Yeah, you can see him,
wide-eyed,
as happy as ever to be at Newport. There he is now.
Last time I saw him was on Durban Beach a week or two ago. He's happier there because he's just off to play golf.
Must have some air miles.
Wait a minute, I'll just check. Time on.
Good take by Andy Newman. We haven't seen much driving line-out work so far this evening. Managed to slip it away before the Dragons got the counter drive in. Andy Williams shaping up for the box kick. And in the end, it was straight out Ben Breeze. And I looked at the toucher and says, hang on a minute, I didn't take that over.
Yeah, I think the old Gareth Simmons, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see it. That's it. Takes it. Yep, the Simmons thinks good kick. Oh, no, it's not. It's straight in.
It's all right. Time on.
So 8 minutes of the first half remaining. 3 penalties to 2 in the Ospreys' favour.
And race. Use it. Tackle away.
Rod Snow trying to gain some ground. Wallow again just nursing that left-hand side touchline. Blanche using up a few yards, then steadying himself for the touch finder. And just where the ball alighted, we should find Stuart Davis with Derwyn Jones.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. We can hardly hear ourselves over the stick when Newport when supporters are giving the ref, but you're generally happy with things at the moment, Derwyn?
Yeah, I think we're playing well. We've got plenty of possession and keeping the ball well, showing a lot of composure. Yeah, we're very pleased so far, competing well in the line-out. James Baker once again winning the ball, so yeah, it's going well so far.
I mentioned that you're looking for the offload, looking for pace in the game. Has that been part of the plan to take them on like that tonight?
I don't know, we've tried to get a bit of width. Obviously Jason Forsyth creates problems at the breakdown and trying to get the ball a little bit wider, but no, we're very pleased in the moment. A lot of cohesion between forwards and backs and some good skills in the tackle. Lost a bit too much ball maybe, but yeah, we're generally pleased so far. It's been a good start.
A little bit of work to do in this phase, the scrum.
Yeah, it's tough, there's pressure coming through, but Andrew Millward and Paul James have got plenty of experience there, so just keep on working at it, maybe get a bigger hit. But we're in the game, which is good.
So far so good. Thanks, Erwin.
Thanks so much.
Crouch and hold. Engage.
So far so good for the Ospreys,
Stay straight.
but the Dragons by no means out of it. Just the one kick difference. Great break by Wallow. Lovely break. Has support as well. To Pelotto, to Kevin Morgan. And even though Gareth Wyatt was on the outside, he didn't need him. That's a great try. Great try. Brilliant break by Wallow. Simple passing. And Kevin Morgan over for the first of the evening. And what a good one it was.
Well, it's a lovely break and good support, but they're simple as that. Lovely break, lovely support. Now there's a break. There's the support. Lovely pass.
Fourth of the season for Kevin Morgan in the Celtic League. And a big blow as far as the Ospreys are concerned, because they had been in the driving seat really in the opening half hour. Craig Warlow, who started it all off, rounds it off with a conversion as well. 13-9 Dragons.
From the scrum, watch. He goes early. Matthew Jones goes too early, leaves too much for the back row forward. Lovely support by Tupolotu. Good full back play by Kevin Morgan. Easy try from first phase.
Well, after the initial break, he was doing the basics, taking and giving, timing of the pass. So they did that perfectly.
Straight. Crouch and hold. Engage.
60% of territory, 60% of possession for the Ospreys. But the one stat that counts, 13-9 Dragons. Andy Newman.
And release tackler. Hold it on.
A chance for the Ospreys to cut back the deficit immediately though. And the way Matthew Jones has been kicking this evening, well within reach.
Takes a ball in.
Release, guys.
He's got a release. He doesn't look at him. He's got, that is a penalty, isn't it? That is a clear penalty, that is.
I take it you're going to go, yeah?
The crowd this evening, 5,227. Most of them not too happy that Matthew Jones has got another shot for goal. Again, he's turned immediately because he knows he struck it perfectly. A fourth success out of 4 for Matthew Jones, and the Ospreys are back within a point.
Have a look at it on the video.
Again, the restart not claimed, and I don't think a single one has been tidily taken all evening.
Not from either side.
Just wait, gentlemen. Wait.
Yeah, lovely kick. No real pressure. Another bad take. A no take.
It's such a basic part of play that you can practice time and time again.
Use it.
Warlow to Pelotu. Trying to use Ben Breeze as a decoy outside him, and Pelotu showed his strength. Faber. Goff. Good tackle.
Yeah, turned well in the tackle there though, 2 against 1.
It's the Ospreys who've got the numbers out there.
Take it out off the ball. Take it out off the ball.
But a tackle going in on somebody not in possession of the ball,
Yeah.
says Ian Ramage.
James Bater came in and took Nathan Brew.
Just tell him to cut it out, please, skipper.
As the ball comes out, there's the ball. Watch a man outside. Throws a dummy, he's taken down. James Bater penalty. Chance for Warlow. Stick another 3
I wouldn't mind actually.
points.
Not necessary. They had 4-2 in defence to the Ospreys that time. Craig Warlow again looking to open up that 4-point gap. Just crept outside the post that time though.
Oh, that's a bad miss, that is. He knows it as well. As soon as he struck it, he pulled it slightly wide. Watch him. Bad miss, front of the post. And you can see straight away he knows, pulled it a little bit to the right.
Behind the line. That's good.
So the 40 minutes of the first half just creeping up on us. It's a matter of how much stoppage time Mr. Amridge will play. It won't be that much. Wyatt trying to follow up his own pick. It came off his own fingertips, which will give the Ospreys the put in at the scrum.
Yeah.
It's the one spark really in this first half from Craig Warlow, creating the try for Kevin Morgan. Otherwise it's been fairly conservative from both teams. Nathan Bonner-Evans has had to do a lot of that.
Yeah, good play by him there.
Andy Williams just looking to take them forward again. Kevin Morgan. Short space, which has been covered by Williams. Good, following up though by Tuipulotu.
I think that was Nathan Brewer, I think.
Well, this could be the mismatch in midfield if they do get it out.
Well, they've got no one in midfield, and they've got a prop there. It's got to go now. That's it. It's been too slow coming from the rucks and mauls for the Nathan Swansea Ospreys. Far too slow. They've had a lot of opportunities with overlaps on the left and right hand side, but because it's been so slow coming up, because of poor clearing out, they've missed opportunities.
Both centres were involved. Nathan Brew and Tuipulotu following up.
Great
They were
tackle.
both tied in there. There we are. There's 13. There's 12. So you were an 8 and a 3 out in midfield.
Yeah, and Kevin Morgan was in there as well.
There's play advantage. There's no advantage from the knock-on. He didn't take it without the ball.
It's another knock on.
Knock on. Scrum it. No, not quite. You're desperate. Wait. Crouch and hold. Engage.
So one more chance for the Dragons then at the end of the first half. Wallow with a dink off the knee, and it couldn't work out. Brew and Tuipulotu both hunting it, but neither able to get it.
He nearly got that, didn't he? Nearly got his hands with a flick the ball to Nathan Brew, and that would have been try time.
Good work by Michael Jones. Ring attempted with a trip for a second, and Ted Blanche is in the gap with a great dummy. Looks for support, nobody close enough, so has to try and do it all himself. Back comes Baber. He's lost it. Ted Blanche gets bundled off it illegally, and the referee could possibly pay an advantage. Sefayali takes it quickly anyway. Newman inches short. Andy Williams waits, he can't get his hands on it, and they haven't got over the try line, and now they won't get a chance because that's half time.
Well, why didn't Ted Blanche take Kevin Morgan on? International winger, full back to beat. He had to have a go at him. That's what you pay, you know, that's what you pay to do on the wing. And he's looking for the penalty try. Dummy kick. Watch this lovely slow dummy. Slow dummy, bang, in between two forwards, two front rows. What's he slowing down for? He's got to try and take him on the outside. He gets the ball again. Kevin Morgan tackles him, looks for the penalty try, doesn't have it. They still should have scored. Sefayali gets the ball, goes short. If that's recycled, it's try time both sides. Didn't happen, held over the line. Missed opportunity for the Nathan Swansea Ospreys.
Well, they won't get any closer than that, and they could well rue that as it is. It's the Dragons who have the only try of the half, and just a point in it. At half-time, it's the Dragons 13, the Ospreys 12.
Dramatic end to the first half. For most of the first period, it seemed that kicks would dominate. Ospreys took the early lead. Craig Warlow responding for the Dragons. Nothing in it until the try came. Warlow with the break, Tuipulotu with the support, and Kevin Morgan with the pace to finish off the Dragons' best move of the game.
Yeah, so look at the stats. We can see the Ospreys dominated there in possession and territory, 62 and 56% respectively. Pretty even on in the opposition 22, but of course the Dragons made that one tell with a try. Penalties even, handling errors a bit high there I think for the first half, especially given the conditions. And and that's why it was a bit stop-start, especially in the middle 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it was enterprising by the Ospreys. The Dragons with the edge up front.
I promised a lot early on. The Ospreys clearly see what they're trying to do. Quick ball, Lynn Jones, the way he used to love playing himself, you know, number 7 there, moving it on, lots of offloads, trying to get it wide, and then occasionally just letting themselves down, losing the ball in contact and really not taking advantage of it. And then the Dragons came back and they had a great opportunity early on when Richard Bryan made that break up the centre of the field. And my first thoughts on this were, Richard Bryan, you've got to try and get to the support. But if you look here, Tupoloto, there's a bit of a sort of a mix-up in midfield, possibly a block. But Tupoloto's got to get on his shoulder here. You know, that's the number 8 running there, back row forward. He's got to get on his shoulder, because if he does, it's try time. And I think we can see how when you do support well, Tandy gets caught slow off. Matthew Jones has missed the tackle there. They've got it all wrong. And then Tupoloto this time, look, he's in the gap, nice hands, and Kevin Morgan is over.
You could see Tupoloto actually start the drift out again, and he thought about it twice, didn't he?
Matthew Jones gets caught here. It's man on man. Look, he's on his outside shoulder. He's a bad tackle line. Steve Tandy was a bit slow off the scrum. You can't blame him. That was Matthew Jones' tackle. And then from then on, it was just good support play. And Kevin Morgan, you know, he's going to eat those up all day. Lovely break from Warlow. Good hands, Tupoloto. Nice try.
Yeah.
I just think there are opportunities there, and there's one occasion Jonathan picked it up in commentary with Andy Williams running on the blind side, and you know, we can see that Kevin Morgan is standing up in the line here. Look at Kevin Morgan here. So if Andy Williams here just puts a little dink through, Blanche has got all that room to run into, and you know, that's the situation where after that's happened, either the backs coach or more importantly Blanche himself has got to go to Andy Williams and say, look, next time we get a scrum middle of the field, you've just got to dink that through with me, mate.
I'm going to say again, because actually Stéphane Terblanche had an opportunity one-on-one right at the end of the first half, and he opted for the kick.
Yeah,
and,
I know. I thought he was looking sharp, but then you can see his lack of confidence there. He really should have gone on the outside there. It was a gift-wrapped opportunity for him.
So let's talk defence instead then, rather than attacking options. It's the storming up defence again.
We hear so much about this blitz defence, and I think we'll see it tomorrow with South Africa, the way they pile up in midfield. But tonight as well, you know, a good example of the Ospreys, the way they do it. They work this umbrella defence. Look at that. I think it's the Dragons. It is piling in on the outside there, and you can see all of a sudden, you know, they're under pressure because he's got nowhere to go, and a man on the outside, if you time it right, you really can cut these attacks off before they start.
Okay, here we are at Rodney Parade. There's a full weekend in front of us.
Of 5 games, starting with the first game of the Grand Slam is against Wales. That's going to be our most important game for me, to set any kind of tone for the tour.
The tone of the Springbok Tour in 2004 against the Welsh Spirit of 1999. The try scorer is now the team captain.
We've only beaten the South Africa once here, but we have beaten them, and I think, you know, maybe mentally we can actually, you know, realise that we can do it again.
South Africa, obviously on form. They've had a great season under Jake White. Very, very talented team, very confident team. But it's up to us to try and spoil the party. It's up to us to try and get stuck into them and play with confidence and skill. If we can do that, who knows?
So much to come tomorrow, so much to come tonight. Here's Stuart down on the touchline.
Yeah, thanks very much, Eddie. Well, as we can see, the Boks are in town, and one of them has come home and joins me now, Ian McIntosh. A couple of seasons since you were with Newport, Gwent, but nice to be back.
Very nice to be back. I was actually here 3 weeks ago when they beat Leinster, and it's just lovely to be back.
Yeah, we're seeing plenty of you here. Obviously, you're going to take in tomorrow's game as well.
Yeah, I came across to have a look at that.
That's a nice kick-off for the autumn internationals for the Welsh boys. What a welcome they'll have from South Africa.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be different to it was when it was in Pretoria. Now, South Africa had the home advantage playing at altitude. Wales had just been off a long trip, and I think it'll be a different Wales tomorrow. I have no doubt about it, and I think the Springboks are expecting that.
It only seems a little while back, though, that the Springboks were having it tough. Jake White seems to have done an amazing job in turning them round.
He has indeed. What he's brought consistency and selection. He's let the players believe in themselves. And he's brought in a structured game that the players know and how to fit into it. I believe it's the modern type of game that he's brought into them, and yes, it's virtually the same players have turned it around.
I've got to put you on the spot, Ian. How do you see it going?
You know, I hate to predict things like that, but now obviously from a South African point of view, I hope things get going and they take off where they left off. Then they've got one against the Wallabies. But having said that, I know only too well the Hoyle will come out tomorrow and the Welshman will be there. So obviously I hope to call it for South, but I think that South Africa should be able to pull it through.
Yeah, just about. Okay, well, time will tell. Thanks for joining us, Ian.
Thank
Back
you.
to you, Ed.
Ian McIntosh, former coach of Natal, the Springboks, and of course, Newport. Back to tonight, what have the Dragons got to do to seal this? What have the Ospreys got to do to keep that unbeaten record intact?
It's a very even game, isn't it? It's there for either side to win at the moment. I think that the one that brushes up on the skills in contact, and the one, more importantly, gets in support of players. There's been plenty of breaks, plenty of opportunities there.
Okay, Ian McIntosh had a stab at answering the question about tomorrow. Are you slightly more pessimistic?
I am, simply because if you think the last time we played them, we shipped 50 points. We've got, a very new look to the team. This is definitely Mike Ruddock's team, and I think we've got a lot of inexperience in certain positions there, which against the Springboks, who probably are the #1 team in the world at the moment, it's been very difficult. Can we catch them cold, Ed? First 20 minutes, can we get some confidence going with our side? I think that's vitally important. Otherwise, it could be a long, hard afternoon for our pack in particular.
Okay, you're not on your own here. Jonathan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here, Ed.
How do you see it going tomorrow?
Well, I think we've got to have parity up front. That's the first thing. They're such a big side. I think they've got to clear out the rucks because they do stand there and slow the ball down. If they slow the ball down, their blitz defence will dominate the game. I said if we do get good ball, quick ball, they have got weaknesses behind because with the blitz defence, Wet Barry piles up and Jacques and Vessers shoots out of the line, so there are holes there. And if we do get behind them and turn them, they are. Because they are so big, they're going to take a while to get back. So I think it is a big call. It's going to be a very, very physical, brutal encounter because they're confident of the Grand Slam. It hasn't been done for 40 years for the South African side, and this is the first leg. But as Mike Ruddock says, hopefully if we get a game right, I think we have the skills to beat them behind. So it is a big ask, but quietly confident that we can surprise a lot of people if we do the basics well and if the pack, gets parity.
Well, it is the Mike Ruddock mantra to get those basics right.
He's picked Steve Jones at hooker, hasn't played, and he's got Ryan Jones playing at 8, hasn't played before. So, two pivotal positions. But I think, the man for me is Gavin Henson playing at 12. Against that blitz defence, he's probably going to be the one that's going to be the catalyst, try and get those passes wide and hit his players. And that is asking a lot of him, I think. If it comes off, it could be spectacular. If it doesn't, very difficult.
Okay, the Ospreys coming back onto Rodney Parade. They trail by 1 point. Fireworks going off in the city of Newport. Nice setting here at Rodney Parade for a second half to come. Stéphane Terblanche, former Springbok, on the Ospreys wing. Here's the home side. Let's rejoin Jonathan and Gareth.
Yeah, thanks, Ed. Not too many fireworks on the field in the first half.
Good one, Guy. It took to the second half to see something about
we've got to have one each for the evening, haven't we? That is Rhys Oakley. 2 caps for Wales. Back in last year. Jamie Ringer had been suffering from flu during the week, so there was a bit of a doubt before the start, and he lasted 40 minutes.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if there are any changes in tactics. I certainly think that the Newport Dragons, the Gwent Dragons, will want to get into the 22 and impose their forward power on the game from there. And if they do get into the 22, I think that they will come away with a couple of tries because they're forwards. Whereas the Ospreys have got to clear out quickly in rucks and mauls and spread it a little bit quickly. If they do that, they could expose the defensive system of the Dragons.
Well, that's a restart we've got sorted out, thanks to Andy Newman.
Wasn't a great this kick, so
straight into his midriff, really. So just as well he didn't drop that one. Richard Bryan did well to keep that one in play. He was so close to that left-hand side touchline. Rhys Oakley gets his first touch and gets a few yards. Go forward for the Dragons, as they like to say these days. Confusion between Andy Williams and Nathan Bonner-Evans.
Back foot. Use it. It's all right. He stopped.
That's nicely timed from his hands that time by Matthew Jones.
Yeah, he's played very confidently, you know, kicking ball of the hand, good decision making, and of course, you know, the dummy kick to create to Blanche break. Just like, you know, just have a go at them. You know, he's renowned for his running. Let's see what he can do.
The one he's got, you go. Good.
4 men at the line.
Don't come into it, yeah.
Ian Goff from scrum half, the ball taker. And Richards working hard in there. The skipper right on his shoulder. Ian Ramirez just got in the way of Gareth Baber, and Baber is standing there, hands on hips, saying, what on earth was that all about? He's had an apology from Ian Ramage, but I don't think that's much consolation for the Dragons scrum half.
He said he's going to get out of the way.
Bader has won a little line-out ball for the Ospreys this evening. Millward again. Charging run forward. Barry Williams with a pickup. Didn't really go anywhere.
Oh, good tackle, Rhys Oakley there.
Now maybe a bit of width. Seve Ali. Matthew Jones went on the loop, but Seve Ali almost snuck his way through. Williams.
Overload this side.
To Blanche. Back inside comes Tandy. It's there again for the Ospreys. David Bishop. And there's big Andy Newman, who dropped it in midfield. Rod Snow making use of the turnover ball. Kevin Morgan wanted a drop back, but the ball arrived a bit too quickly. Had to change his angle of kicking.
Oh, what a chance. Counter-attack.
Oh, dearie me. It's dreadful.
Well, it's been a comedy there as the last couple of minutes.
Well, a lack of confidence maybe, and lack of game time maybe for some of the players as well. It's not happening out there.
The scrum cap in midfield. I think it's
Elvis's.
Elvis Ali's, isn't it? See by his mop of hair.
I don't think he wants it anymore.
There's his cap. There's Seve Ali's. There he is. There's Roy, the kit man, taking his headgear off. He was there when I was at Neath.
Richards to Pelotu. He is so direct. Kevin Morgan steaming up to the blind side.
That is very slow once again, isn't it? So slow.
And then the old tractor and trailer knocking into your own man, giving away the putting at the scrum.
Yeah, there's a drive straight into Chris Anthony.
All that grind and hard work for absolutely nothing. Well, Forster had gone too quickly. Advantage being played at the moment. Matthew Jones too heavy. They'll go back for the offence from the scrum.
Don't pull off the scrum, he'll not get you. Stay on the scrum, he'll not get you.
Jason Forster gets the explanation. We'll go back down pitch side to Stewart.
Yeah, and I'm alongside Lynn Jones, just picking up on a couple of things we've seen from Stefan to Blanche Lynn, kicking the ball away. The back row forwards, we used to work hard for ball, used to frustrate me when I was playing. Does it frustrate you as a coach, or are you happy for players to make that decision as they see it?
You've got to take every kick in context to it, haven't you? And there was a bit of football going on there. They kicked badly. Stefan had the whole 39 players in front of him. It's a tight game there. He's obviously gone for a kick into the space that he saw. Hopefully then get the chase on and create a 50-50 possession. We've hardly been in 8-22 so far, and the message has got on. We've got to get in 8-22 if we're going to win this game here and get some liners, get some scrums down there. And we're playing far too much in the middle of the field. And these boys are played well and they play well and they make decisions as and when they see them. So.
You all right with it?
I'm fine, Stuart. You all right with it? You all right with me?
Well, we're asking the question, mate. Thanks for the answer.
Okay, bye.
I think, maybe tactically it was the right decision. It was just a rubbish kick, that's all.
That's the word I was looking for.
I was thinking of a couple of other words, but rubbish was the proper one, maybe.
Not the best of kicks from Matthew Jones either. That time the distance proving too much for him.
Sorry.
It was his first miss of the evening. 4 from 4 in the first half. But he couldn't put the Ospreys back ahead. That's Chris Anthony. Needs a bit of treatment there on his ankle.
Yeah, this is the ball. As the ball comes out, like Mike says, Matthew Jones has gone too early and Tandy really is struggling to get there. That was a man-on-man tackle. Once he got behind, good support play, easy try.
Good basic timing of the pass. Nice and simple. And loads of space for Kevin Morgan to round it off. That's been the one highlight of the evening so far. Two others. Ted Blanche made the break, but the Ospreys haven't been able to round any of them off in that kind of fashion. Otherwise, it's been this kind of stuff for them, just taking it on. Nathan Bonner-Evans does so again, and trying to create out wide, but it's not really coming off. Tandy trying to do the same again. Randy Williams. And Millwood is there ready, and that's what he does again, this time on the loop. A little bit different. James Pater couldn't get it away and hang on to it just a fraction too long. It's a variation on a theme from the Ospreys that time.
Yep. Lovely run around. Player hitting the hole. Should have offloaded. Holding on a little bit too long. Ramage, he has been consistent in that area. That's all you can ask for. There's been far too many penalties handing it. It's been a stop-start affair. As Lynn said, a very close game. So
Rush defence from the Ospreys that time. Tuipulotu tried to get in behind them. It's just spilt forward again.
Lost the ball in the tackle, looking for the offload. There we are. The crowd think that they're offside, but they're not because they're just sprinting out of the blocks, that's all.
It's just that final pass in the Pepe. Sione Tuipulotu was looking for it. He'd got behind his man, just looking to offload, but lost it as the hit came in.
Second row, not on the prop. Okay. Get straight. Crouch and hold. Engage. Find it. Use it.
Bonner-Evans, there's a bit of space that time, a bit of freedom. He makes the most of it. Good hands from Tandy. Matthew Jones, they come streaming across in defence. Thurston keeps it alive. Again, Newman is waiting, Bateman rather, and Bonner-Evans. They're all taking that short ball forward. Now they spread. Saveali, Barry Williams, but they've lost 10 metres. Bounces Craig Waller off though.
Still an overlap on the far side. If it goes quick, look at it, it's so slow. The ball is there. It's got to go. Now that is so slow. The overlap opportunity is missed.
Steve Tandy almost pleaded guilty then, without defence having been called. Hands up from Tandy. There's Thurston. Tried to go round him because it all been slowed down so terribly.
I think they've got to realise, haven't they, the Ospreys, that is the way to, you know, to break them down. As the ball comes out, look at it. It's poor play. Takes in. Look at the numbers. Only 2 players on the top of your screen. If the ball goes there, look, there's 4-2. Now there's 3. It's just too slow, isn't it?
He's in the field. He's in the field.
James Richards threw it over everybody. Foster did well to bring on to Tuipulotu. Nathan Brew trying to do a bit of clearance work. Snow on the charge.
Back foot.
Baber, Wallow. Nathan Brew has a go. Shrugs off Sebayali. Tandy puts a tackle in. Support from Kevin Morgan on his centre. Oh, poor pass though.
No. Play advantage. Offside. Easy kick. He's taking a tap, look.
Tuipulotu's took it quickly to Kevin Morgan. And the Ospreys are caught unawares as Kevin Morgan grabs a second.
I think Tuipulotu took the tap and thought, oh, what have I done? And then realised that Kevin Morgan was on the outside. Watch him, takes the tap. Watch. Yep, there we are. Good support. Good finish. That's what a full-back should do. There we are. Tap. Goes across field. Try. Yes, he stops and checks. Good support by Kevin Morgan. Try. And that all came, you know, from that crossing, from the slow ruck ball by the Ospreys.
Kevin Morgan's got himself back in international contention on the back of some performances, some try-scoring performances like that. 2 more, take him up to 5. This to take them 2 scores clear. Wallow, lovely kick, straight down the middle. No doubt at all about that one. Now the Dragons have a little bit of a breathing space. 8 points the difference.
Well, they have to go for tries now, I think. That's a stop, go. Bit of hesitation, but good support play.
Ben Breeze realises his kick is in field, so goes on the chase. Durston, little chip over the top, and almost got onto his own kick as well.
Advantage.
He's unlucky.
Are you okay, Phil? What is it? You want a stoppage? No, sorry.
That's Jason Spice, who's just come on
for
Andy Williams.
Just come on to, you know, kick up the backside maybe, you know, just to spice it up a bit.
Wait, please, gentlemen, no ball.
But you know, just a little bit of spark. They need a bit of a G up. You know, you get to the rucks and walls a bit quicker, get the ball away maybe.
Use it.
Wallow behind Brew, picked up well by Kevin Morgan. Wyatt shifting. Now the Dragons certainly got their tails up. Oakley direct running from the replacement. Faber, an advantage again to the Dragons, and they certainly stepped up again now. They look as if they want another try. Morgan and Tuipulotu, back to Morgan again. Nice step from Kevin Morgan as well. Rod Snow And at the moment, the Ospreys are on the ropes. Back it comes to Wallow, who's got a shot for nothing and a drop goal. They don't need the penalty. They've got 3 points in the bank from the boot of Craig Wallow.
13 and skipper.
Turning pressure into points, isn't it? Good decision. Very slow ball.
I'll start to take yellow card now, okay?
Now he's got to think of what he's going to do now.
Well, they're chasing it now. Things going from bad to worse for the Ospreys. The restart straight out of play. Scrum back in midfield. Possession and initiative and advantage back to the Dragons.
3 at number 1, but 3 at number 1 points.
Double change in the front row. Both props departing. 2 new props, Adam Black and Rhys Thomas arriving.
Those 2 props have done really well, haven't they? Really took the game to the Ospreys front row. Realised they're the second choice Ospreys front row.
Good scrum that time as well. Baber and Kevin Morgan joining the line at every opportunity. It's only the Welsh skipper, Gareth Thomas, that's keeping him out at the moment. Jason Spice. Not sure whether he wanted to put it straight out.
Come on. I've got it. Hey, I've got to referee the game from somewhere.
Yeah.
To his middle. Yeah.
But all aspects of Dragons play at the moment coming together. The scrum has been good. The line out is good. More ball from Ian Goff that time. Tuipulotu could see Semeali coming straight at him. Took his eye off that one. Hacked through from Bishop. Back goes Brew. Just about manages to scramble it back.
Oh, I thought there was a knock on there by Nathan Brew.
Rhys Thomas as emergency scrum half. Richard Mustoe. And the Ospreys offer anything on the counter. Matthew Jones.
Oof, good pressure by Oakley.
Yeah. He's happy just to get shot of it in the end. Down to his opposite number, Craig Wallow. Where's that one coming down? Well taken by Durston, and on his trusted left foot, looking to turn the Dragons. Safely back there, Gareth Wyatt. It's a very good kiss, not a bad kick at all. How good was that in the end for Gareth Wyatt?
No angle there, no angle whatsoever, so he's gone down the channel. It's the only thing he can do. Gets a lovely bounce. More than the touch. And now I'm certain that they will attack this line out. They've shortened the line out, the Ospreys.
Safely done in the end by James Bater.
I didn't go slow as they put themselves under pressure.
Get rid of it.
Spice did really well to get out of that.
Very well. Wyatt. And that's an apology immediately from Richard Mustoe. He's got a bother after the Heineken Cup game last weekend, Richard Mustoe. And
yes,
there's nothing malicious about it.
Yeah, caught it on full speed. No, clumsy tackle more than anything. No intent there.
Code 0786 2012 12. The number to get in touch with Rick O'Shea on the interactive service. And the Scrum 5 website address.
Rick O'Shea's taking him just by the burger van, he is actually. Yes. You can see him from here.
Highlights Wales, South Africa. Plus news from the weekend's Celtic League fixtures. BBC Two Wales 5:30 Sunday evening. Penalties, 2 conversions. He's squeezed in another penalty. And a drop goal as well. Things are going well for Craig Warlow. Things are going well for the Newport Gwent Dragons.
Yeah, he'll be very happy how they turned the screw in the second half. Turned all the pressure into points. I think Warlow's done extremely well, you know, stepping into Kerry Sweeney's shoes. Lovely strike. Sneaks inside the upright.
Watch your feet. Come now.
Time is running out for the Ospreys, one feels. They are staring at their first defeat of the Celtic League season.
It is again territory of the Ospreys. One possession, so you know, sometimes the stats doesn't give you a true reflection of the game, doesn't it?
It's certainly not going right for the Ospreys. Oakley went through after Spice couldn't gather. Black. Baber to Pelotu on the outside, but well tackled by Tandy. Adam Black again offering himself to his scrum half.
Certainly makes an impact when he comes on, doesn't he, Adam Black?
Rhys Thomas trying to do the same. And it's all defensive tackling work for the Ospreys at the moment. Wyatt tries to weave the ball through Richard Mustoe. And good following up again. It is pressure rugby from the Dragons. Again, really not giving the Ospreys time to settle.
Yeah. Very lovely kick. The kick's only as good as his chase. Look at the chase by Topolotu. Had time to put the kick in. Wrong option. No space. Certainly played extremely well this year, hasn't he, Topolotu?
Yeah, very good indeed.
Yeah.
John Bryant had the first opportunity and he did well enough, but since Tuipulotu's come on the scene, he has made a mark for the Dragons.
Takes the short ball, gets over the gain line. Takes quick penalties. Good support by Kevin Morgan. Good try. Things are not going so well now, are they, I think. But, you know, they've had their opportunities, that's the main thing.
Their line-out possession has become very scrappy indeed, but just as well for the Ospreys that time, there was a knock forward first of all by the Dragons.
Well, they just, you know, they put a lot of pressure on this Ospreys pack, disrupted the scrums, disrupted the line-outs, and the back row and half-backs have had a testing time.
Nice bounce for Adrian Durston. Baber, again, plenty of support runners there, but good defence. Tuipulotu looking to try and bring Wyatt back in on the angle. Too many bodies in the way. Forster forcing it on again. And Gareth Baber hounding behind that pack constantly. Tuipulotu, with plenty of experience at scrum half as well, and wants to be in the thick of things.
Royal Gwent tossed all over that pass there.
And Steve Tandy's ripped it clear. Excellent work. Now then, they must want to keep ball in hand and go wide. Oh, poor pass. De Blanche has to come the long way around. Nathan Drew came flying at him.
Lined him up there.
Spice just bangs into the 22, but that's not really a ball for anybody to chase. And that shows really that the way the Ospreys have been playing tonight lacks the confidence to string together those passes from the half chances, even on a breakout from 60 metres out. Stu, back down to you.
Give a touch, please.
Yeah, thanks, Carl. I think he passed down, and alongside Jamie Ringer now, who's had to come off, still feeling the effects of flu in midweek. You can relax and enjoy this one now, Jamie, can you?
No, I think the job's far from done. You know, Ospreys are a dangerous side. We've just seen then they had a turnover and nearly scored, so it's important we play a bit of field position for the next 10 minutes, I think, Stuart.
I'm glad to get away from here.
If we just see this bit of danger out now, we'll be all right. Yeah, it's okay. But you know, they're a dangerous team, and I just think we really got to, concrete this win now. And next 10 minutes are crucial.
A lot's been made of the fact that internationals out of each side, but we've got two useful sides here. Did it feel any different running out tonight?
No, I think the intensity between when two Welsh clubs meet each other, sometimes intensity is even greater, as you know yourself in Welsh derbies. So I think by no means has it been devalued in any way by the Welsh boys not being involved.
Thanks for talking to us,
Cheers.
The Ospreys trying to claw their way back through kicks initially. There's a lovely break from the line out by Jason Spice, which set them up in the first place. Again, they couldn't finish it off. It's a fifth success for Matthew Jones. There's still a lot of work for the Ospreys to do in the final dozen minutes.
Yeah, 12 minutes to go plus injury time. Spice bust the line there from a good line out move. Just needed a bit of support with him. The Ospreys have got to throw caution to win now. Just get on with it. Never lose.
It's well taken by Barry Williams, and he needs to galvanise his troops now for the remainder of this one. Not the best of passes from Spice, but Matthew Jones did well to get out of trouble. Nice footwork from Kevin Morgan. Spice waits, takes safely. And he's away and running. Tandy in support. Spice back there again, having a go.
Good play with Spice. Certainly has ignited him a little bit, hasn't he? He's been sniping round the rocks and malls, had a little dart himself. Another knock on. Here we are. Goes for the break, holds the defence. Unfortunately, it's a second row and a prop forward on the outside.
Yeah, typical abrasive New Zealand scrum half. Always posing a threat. Oh, nice run and good offload as well. Back to Breeze from Tuipulotu. Forster. Oh, lovely flick from Wallow. That time Kevin Morgan couldn't hang on to it though. But all the creative stuff in the second half is coming from the Dragons.
Yeah, they've certainly dominated the second half, haven't they?
Yeah, I'll shot you. Come on! Yeah, I am. Crouch yellow. Wait. Crouch yellow. Engage.
That's far too high, you see, handling errors. Perfect conditions.
Rounding in.
Well, he told
Boring in.
Mr. Adam Black to push straight last time,
Body angle again. Up.
out and in, and he's just slapped Matthew Jones in the chops. He should give me a yellow card for him.
You're twisting your arse out and boarding in. We can't go anywhere because of you.
Go on.
Have that.
Hey, gentlemen, 2 balls on the pitch. Rugby balls, that is. Stay apart.
Spice gets it away to Matthew Jones. Bishop has been quiet.
It's, you know, it's fun to throw in a miss one if there's no full back in there, you know, to cut.
Came back. The early tackle is what he is given the penalty for.
They've got to try and get something very quick. Clock's running out.
That attempted break was David Bishop's last contribution. He's been replaced by Dave Tuetti. James Bater has played his part this evening for the Ospreys, but they've lost that one again.
Release it, Black. Use it. Keep coming. No.
Reece Thomas.
Yeah, I'm coming out of it.
And the
I
Dragons
want to see the ball first.
doing the hard work as well as the fancy stuff in the second half. Safely taken by Ted Blanche. Wallow thought about giving it up to Kevin Morgan, but then thought better of it. Connor Evans. Good following up work by the outside half, but the number 8 proved that a little bit too strong for him. Spice to Mustoe.
Good step, nearly got away from Tupolotu.
Sorry.
And in the end it was a trip from the centre.
Get the foot down. That was a trip.
It was a lovely
no
step
more.
from Mustoe
No
at pace.
more. The foot came out.
And instinctively, he just put anything out to bring him down. Here she goes.
There's a lovely step. Just watch his left foot. Up. Yeah.
Sorry, it's come off just a bit quick.
More near the ball, that tackle.
Connor Evans with a line-out ball. Spice under pressure and getting it away. And Foster's already there, facing Ter Blanche. Bateman with the support.
White tackler away.
Seveali. Passing is still loose though. Mustoe nowhere to go on that far touchline, but somehow gets it back to Tuetti. Seveali in support as well. Spice. Matthew Jones. Left quickly, forcing Ter Blanche backwards. Thurston. Bateman. And it all slows down. Dave Tuetti. Almost an interception from Adam Black. Bateman driven on by the Osprey forwards. Millward is standing off. They go for Jones instead. Good link by Millward. Spice, and he's the one who's being the catalyst in looking to create for the Ospreys.
Yeah, just that little bit of class, doesn't he? Just to try and break the defence open. Not going anywhere at the moment though, they've been forced back.
Mustoe forces his way through. Can't step past Kevin Morgan though. Sound tackle. Spice is there, and Spice is the one who has made his presence felt. Always looked like he could be the one to do it.
Yeah, interesting last 5 minutes now, but he's just made an impact, hasn't he?
And he's kept those Osprey hopes alive going into the final stages.
And as I said, as the game has got looser, they've broken it up, they've got quicker ball. You know, they've posed, you know, a big threat to the Dragons' defence. But that's it. Look, unorganised defence again. They run ragged, too many phases, and the gaps have opened up. And that's what they've got to do. They've been battered up front really. Liners and scrums have been dominated by the Dragons' pack. They had to break the game up a little bit, and now they're back in it with a chance of winning it.
Matthew Jones successfully puts over the conversion, and interestingly, that puts the Ospreys back within a try. 4 minutes to go, and the Ospreys could nick it.
Just watching, the defence is so unorganised now. They're tired. Quick ball, lovely pass. Number 5, Sidoli, is not close enough to the ruck. Big gap opens up, try Spice. Now, taking of this kick is important now for the Ospreys. They've got to gather this kick.
Jason Spice does just that and tries to get Nathan Bonner-Evans running at the Dragons' defence once again. Charge down from Weber.
Good chase by Weber there.
Good commitment.
Number 7.
That's
Number
what
7, Black.
the Dragons need to see now. They need to dig deep. Blanche wanted to take it quickly after that charge down. That's Richie Pugh, open side for open side.
Well, that's it now. That, you know, trying to open it up with Pugh coming on.
The Ospreys want to get down now and get themselves within striking distance. Dragons want to come back down to their opponent's half. Free ball, Brew, Nathan Brew, inside to Tupelotu. Pugh with a tackle. Good run by Rhys Thomas. And no wonder the replacement prop is celebrating, because that has surely sealed it for the Dragons and put an end to the Osprey comeback.
Yeah, picked a lovely angle there. And you could sense the slight tension coming over this ground. The Ospreys were back in the game. Now that's made it safe. There we are, what a lovely angle. Pushes Spice off, very happy. Watch him, bang. Inside, lovely, lovely touch. Take a bit of stick for that dive for the prop forward. Woof, get off. Watch. Little step.
Well, the celebration may have been premature, but he made absolutely sure he was hanging onto the ball as he was going over. Fair play to him. He wasn't going to lose that try. Craig Wallow takes his tally up to 18 points. And the Dragons up to 33 to 22. Last minute of normal time. Jonathan, you're the one choosing man of the match at the end of this one.
Well, I just think that the Dragons forwards have done exceptionally well. But the man, you know, Kevin Morgan 2 tries, but the man who's controlled the game, dropped the goal, created the first try. My man of the match is Craig Wallow. He hasn't played a lot of first team rugby this year. Come in, control the game. Man of the match, Craig Wallow.
Oh, good work by Gareth Faber. As the match goes into stoppage time, and Tupelotu in the thick of things again. Different kick that time, just putting it out of play. But there is the man of the match, Craig Wallow, 18 points in all, including a drop goal at a vital time. And He's kept the Dragons going forward, and he's kept them ahead on the scoreboard as well. Sebeali, big gap opened up for him. Sebeali scheming for the corner. Blanche back inside. Richie Pugh just a metre or two short. Sebeali bundled out by Nathan Brew. And that's the determination of the Dragons. They're not giving up on this one.
No, lovely break once again. There's the pass. Well, one drifts and one goes man for man in the centre there. Brew and Tuipulotu. The scramble defence gets across there and just bundles Sebeali into touch. They've had a couple of opportunities in the second half. They could have sneaked this game. Oscar there for Ian Goff.
Scream and everything. Horror. But the Ospreys are still trying to salvage a losing bonus point from this. They had one moments ago, then lost it with Rhys Thomas's try. Now they're looking to get it back once again.
13 white.
Advantage played for the Ospreys at the moment. Offside in midfield. Spice wants to take it quickly, can't get his hands on the ball. Andrew Millward does the same. Millward stopped by Goff.
And release white. I'm coming out, yeah.
Sebeali shielding Spice. Can they work anybody free on the left? Musto slips as the tackle comes in, and the ball's gone forward.
Wait, no ball, no ball.
2.5 minutes into stoppage time, and it seems that all the Dragons have to do now is clear, and they will have cut the deficit at the top.
Here's it, watch, come on, watch.
Baber, kick infield to Durston.
And rock. Use it.
Richard Bryan coming over the top. Referee plays on. Tuetti, Matthew Jones. Blanche went wide for the kick, then comes back for the pass from the angle. Couldn't get on the end of either. Tuetti picks up well though. Musto. The Ospreys have to keep on playing. Again, good defence by the Dragons. They're out on their feet by the look of them. They're still going. It's all across field, it's all lateral until Sebeali straightens up again and finds Newman on his elbow, and it's Dave Tuetti who gets the try for the Ospreys that will salvage something for their evening.
Yeah, and a bonus point.
That's it, yeah.
The second try late on, and for the second time the Ospreys have the bonus point in their grasp.
Yeah, and as I said, as the game, got looser and looser, the Ospreys came back into it. Shrugged the tackle off, stepped, got his hands clear, good offload by Newman, good support by Tuetti.
Yeah, that's it, guys.
Again, it's Sebeali who makes the telling break. Again, Kevin Morgan sound, but lovely support by Newman in getting it alive to Tuetti on the outside. The Dragons have been told this will be the final kick of the evening. Matthew Jones safely negotiates the final kick, but it's not enough to stop the Ospreys falling to their first Celtic League defeat of the season. Close in the end, 5 tries, over 60 points shared, but it was the Dragons who came out victors. Their challenge at the top of the Celtic table is very much alive. 3 tries to 2 in their favour. 1 to Rhys Thomas, 2 importantly to Kevin Morgan. And the 2 late tries for the Ospreys get them a losing bonus point. It's Dragons 33, Ospreys 29.
And so there were fireworks in the second half. In the first half, just the 1 try. Tuipulotu feeding Kevin Morgan and the full-back with the pace to make it all the way. A narrow lead for the Dragons at half-time. Kevin Morgan's second try coming up. It seemed the Dragons were on their way to a handsome victory, but late on, the Ospreys rallied. Jason Spice, what did he add to the game? And just when it seemed that the Ospreys might come from behind to win it, Reece Thomas, with this dive, put the result beyond doubt. And all that was left was the hunt for one losing bonus point. Elvis Sile-Ali, Andy Newman with the offload, Dave Tuetti with the try. The Ospreys do get that bonus point, but their unbeaten record has gone.
Yeah, and the stats seem to lie, and they do again, don't they? Possession 42% for the Dragons and 46% territory, but still managed to win the game. But for me, Ospreys 10 times into the opposition 22 and still came away losing. That will worry Lynn Jones that they didn't finish off enough opportunities. And handling errors there, I think far too many for the Ospreys. That probably undone them as well. 18 as opposed to 12. I think the Ospreys will be very disappointed there. I think that they made a few mistakes. They went off the boil in the first 20 minutes of that second half, which was crucial. The Dragons stepped it up, pinned them in their own 22 and scored a couple of tries. And I think Lynn Jones telling everybody be quiet, sit down. He's got a few things to say, because I think when they look back at that game and they look back at some of the simple mistakes they made, they'll think, how did we lose it?
Well, you know, when you're under that sort of strain up front to win primary possession, you can't afford to make so many mistakes.
It, didn't they? They really did up it first 20 minutes. They piled into him. They kept it in the 22, and some quick thinking by I think it was in centre Tuipulotu. I thought he had a magnificent game. I thought he was everywhere, and he must have been very close to the man of the match. Although Warlow did control it very well and contributed with the points.
And here is the man of the match.
Yeah, thanks very much. Well, John and David should know something about outside half play, and Craig, you're his man of the match this evening. You look like a man hungry for rugby.
Yeah, thanks Stu, thanks Jonathan as well. Yeah, it's been a long, frustrating couple of months, but I think it just goes to show that you know, there's definitely strength and depth in the regions in Wales at the moment. I don't suppose you could say with second teams, but there's lots of boys out there with a point to prove, and hopefully they did, and hopefully the Views enjoyed the game as well.
I asked Jamie Ringer the same question, and he said he didn't feel any different running out. And in fairness, we looked at the sides beforehand, and considering everyone's thinking, oh well, Wales game tomorrow, those are two sides going at each other and looking strong.
Yeah, I think the turnout tonight from the Rodney Parade crowd was fantastic. I think that was a big boost for everybody involved. I mean, if you know, we turn up for the game and half the stadium's empty, then I suppose it's a bit of a letdown. But the crowd were fantastic, as they are every other weekend, and it was really pleasing.
I wouldn't want to call your own performance faultless, but your kick in for line was pretty immaculate. You kept that scoreboard turning over. I don't think your pack could ask much more of you tonight, Craig.
No, I mean, I suppose we're renowned for a good pack in Rodney Parade, and again, you know, they just come up with the goods week in, week out, and it's just a good environment to train and to play, and I'm just glad to play now. So
you wouldn't have wanted to come out second best, and they kept the squeeze on, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, you expect nothing else from the Ospreys. They're a very good team, expertly coached by Lynn Jones, the magician, and you know, it's a fantastic game for everybody involved.
He's happy enough with life as it is. I won't tell him you called him an expert, but well done tonight anyway.
Thanks, Stu. Thank you.
I think it's probably just as well we didn't have a microphone in the Ospreys changing room there, but
you can imagine what Lynn Jones is saying there. He thinks they've thrown away a game that they should have won, and because of soft tries. And I think that, you know, it was that period in the sort of early period of the second half when they gave away that try to Kevin Morgan. They just went to sleep on the penalty. Quick thinking by Tuipulotu, and all of a sudden they're under the cosh. Drop goal. They took the chances.
They're still listening.
Yes.
But this is one of the soft tries they gave away.
The Alex Ferguson hairdryer, that was then, wasn't it, in the changing rooms? If there's any tea, it would have been thrown over them. But you can understand his frustration, and when they look back at the game and they look at the tries they gave away, that's what will upset them the most.
Yeah, well, it was all decided in that little period after half-time when it got very scrappy for the Ospreys, and if this, as you were saying, was a soft try, well, this is it.
Yeah, well, this it was a soft try. I think they'd given the ball away earlier on. Tuipulotu does well to sort of keep it going in midfield here, and he made hard yards, all you know, quick tap. Kevin Morgan hits the hole, and he really he knows his way to the try line, doesn't he? He really knows his way to the try line, Kevin Morgan. Well taken try.
We talk about using replacements and when to use them, impact players. Jason Spice made a difference.
He was a bit of class, wasn't he?
And made a huge difference.
Kept his hands free in the tackle, looked for space, created space, and I think, you know, when Neath and Swansea Ospreys had to break the game up. They were getting battered, the lineup wasn't going well, you know, the scrums are under pressure, they just couldn't cope with it, so they had to break it up and get it wide, and once they did, they got back into the game.
Well, here he is, Mike.
Yeah, I think what John has said, you know, he drags players in and he gets the pass away, and I think that for his try, Mustard is exceptionally well. He had to keep the ball going. It looked as if it was dead, the movement had come to nothing, and he just makes a late run, Spice. A disorganised defence, hits the hole, and he can see straight through. I think we've seen him do that a couple of times this season, and you know, he did make a huge impact, and that got the Ospreys right back in the game. And then almost from the kick-off, I think it was Bonrems dropped a high ball, put them under pressure. You know, Rhys Oakley scored the try, game over. But Spice, when he came on, played exceptionally well. Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's a ferocious place to try and get a win now in the Celtic League. At least how they must be ruining that game against Newcastle.
They should have won that game. I felt, you know, they made one mistake and they lost, and that's the difference from this level and the next level. You know, the Celtic League and Heineken Cup. You have opportunities, you've got to take them. You make mistakes, you lose.
They lost that game.
It's done something for the Celtic League, though, because the Ospreys had that 10-point lead. It has shrunk now. Here we have it. It's down to just the 7 points. Of course, the Ospreys did get a losing bonus point here tonight.
It's a long way to go, isn't it? But with the Ospreys, there are a lot of players in the Welsh setup. So now it's going to be difficult for them, and when the Six Nations, so they needed that big lead, you know, to go into those international series, I think.
Okay, game 1 over. Game 2 tomorrow. Wales Springboks. Go on. Quick little prediction.
Really looking forward to it, but I think that South Africa will be a bit too strong for us up front.
You have to say South Africa, but hopefully it'll be a surprise.
Okay, at Rodney Parade, no surprises. The Dragons have won yet again at home from Scrum 5 Live. Good night.